Ni hao ma. Good morning, everybody. How are you? ¿Cómo allez-vous? Ni hao, Daniel. Yeah, Daniel, WTF. What are we going to do about that thing that we were talking about earlier? We have to figure that out, huh? I liked your idea about just throwing them in the back of a car, taking them out into the country, and beating them with some broken fan belts until they change their mind. But that's a little bit aggressive for me. But good idea, anyways. I like the brainstorming. Am I better than yesterday? Actually, Joe, no, I was thinking about it. I was logging in. I'm like, son of a, I'm still in a bad, cranky mood. Ah. Oh, is that right, Tucker? All right, we'll talk later, T-Man. You look fresher than, yeah, thank you. I got my shirt on. Daniel and I have shirt. Daniel, do you have the black one, or I think Daniel has the black one. This is the white one. This is nice. This is the Ritz-Carlton, Hong Kong. Yeah, see, you know, this is the large one, and it's not big on me. Uh-oh. I got the large one, and it's not big on me. Actually, this is the XL, and it's not big on me. But anyways, let's get going. I know, I'm cranky. So what, right? So let me remind you that trading is risky, not appropriate for everyone. Your past performance, good or bad, is not necessarily indicative of future results. So there's hope. Stay small, stay humble, focus on the long term, and never risk money you cannot afford to lose. Hello, my name is Wayne. I am the Chief FX Market Strategist for TradersWay. Thank you so much for being a client of TradersWay. Be proud to put your diamonds in the sky. Been trading currencies for a long time, full time since 03, something like that. I don't know. But I've been playing around with currencies and trying to figure out currencies for even longer than that. So I've been doing this longer, as long as there's been Forex retail brokers. But anyways, I do these sessions 7:30 in the morning, Monday through Friday here at Forex.Today. First Friday of the month, I'm at FX Street for Trade Non-Farm Payrolls Live. Been doing that for 12 years. Cool. So I want you to succeed. That's pretty much it. And I'm here to share all my experiences, good or bad, technically, fundamentally, psychically, whatever I need to do to make you a success, I'm happy. Yeah, ESPN. I knew that. I knew you were going to say that because I got ESPN. Oops. All right. So let's get going. Morning, Mike. Yeah, more bad Kiwi. I don't want to talk about it. Thank you very much. Let's go in here. What was this? Oh yeah, USD yen. Life is great, life is grand, life is good, life is beautiful. Ooh. Okay. Once again, we need to remind ourselves that this was the projected top for the month of September. Pretty accurate, I think. Now, USD yen, if I recall, I think it's like 20% of all the entire Forex market. Which is significant, is all I'm saying. And it's pretty amazing when we can have an indicator that says, hey, this is probably or likely to be a bullish top. And if you think about the amount of money that's on the table and the number of traders globally, if the USD yen represents 20% of the entire Forex trading market, like those numbers are big, right? It's tens of thousands of traders, isn't it? 20, that's 1 trillion US dollars a day. Yeah, there you go. Daniel's got it, right? 1 trillion a day, tens of thousands of traders. And look how perfect this held. So what's your takeaway from this? Right? Because remember, we're trying to really reprogram brain cells, synapses and stuff. That they must be using these pivots. Know that they're not magic, but that other traders are definitely using these monthlies, for example, right? This is the monthly pivots, okay? And then just above those, you have the weeklies, okay? How about this? Was this important? Ah, come on. That's also a monthly pivot. Okay? So there's something to this, right? So I know it's simpleton stuff, but I want you to like, it's like a tattoo kind of thing. Like, once you, I mean, I don't want you to forget this. I don't want it to fade over time. I want you to really look at this and say, USD yen is a major pair representing $1 trillion a day. And there's no doubt that monthly pivots are being used in the global analysis of this currency pair, right? And then, of course, the price action is wonderful too. So that's cool. So there's that. I don't know what you need to do. Write it down, ponder it. But you got to get that. You really need to get that. Okay? Next thing, and we talked about this yesterday, so I want to reinforce what we talked about. Is it a 618? To me, that's irrelevant. That's a tool used if the market's trending, which it may or may not be trending, but that's subjective, Craig. That's why I don't want to mix the two. Pivots are not subjective. It's a calculation. It's like that is that. Okay? A Fibonacci is dependent on how you draw it, where you draw it, why you draw it. You could get a fib even if you're the only person in the world drawing that. You could be drawing fibs wrong and get a fib number, right? But a high-low close divided by 3 is a high-low close divided by 3. Everyone's got that. Everybody agrees that is that. Okay? What was the pivot you looked at, Sam? Sam says, well, I think I deleted. So this is R2. This is M4. This is R1. Okay? Okay? So anyways, I want to go back to what we talked about yesterday, and that's why I deleted this. Okay. If you are a bear, okay, this is a sell zone. Absolutely 150 bajillion trillion %. Okay. This is a weekly sell. This is a monthly target, which should induce bulls to take profit, which is the same as selling, because the broker has to sell to offset their long. But if you're a pure bear, see, that's if you're a bull, you're getting out. But those that are actually bears doing weekly trade plans, weekly swings, would sell here. So the confluence of those two things is sell, sell. Okay? Again, the top one is where bulls get out. The bottom one is where bears get in. It's just factual, right? And we talked about that yesterday. Great. This line we talked about yesterday as being the place where a bull would buy. They would also consider it here. That's a buy really in something that's a lot more aggressively bullish. But when you top out at a target, you probably shouldn't be aggressively bullish, right? But nonetheless, you could do it. Absolutely, right? But this is the primary buy, and this is the primary sell for weekly swings, right? And then since then, it's double topped. And you may or may not call this a 1, 2, 3 retracement, blah, 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 whatever. But that's the kind of thing you're looking for, isn't it, guys? If you're a bull and you're at weekly M2 and it's London Open and you've printed a double bottom at your support line, like not a random support line. I mean, like at the exact price that you were looking at Sunday afternoon. Okay, so to reinforce what we talk about here, I'm going to switch over to an arrow. Okay, I don't know where this is going to go. You don't know where this is going to go. Okay. One of those is likely to happen. Your job ahead of time is to decide, is it the red arrow or the blue arrow? And you set up a trade plan. It's not after the fact. You're not winging it and all this kind of stuff. If you're a bear, you sell up here. That's that. If you're a bull, you buy down here. That's that. Anything else sucks. Okay? So is it going to fall now at the central? I don't know. Nor do you. Is this double bottom going to go up and down and up and break to the upside and we go even higher? You know, I don't know. Is it going to work its way up into this area and then turn back down and sell again? You know, I don't know. I do not know. Sam, I am. Okay? But I know where to buy and I know where to sell, and that's that. The rest is up to the market. And I know you fight me on these things, but that's that. I can look at this and say the bears are selling exactly where the bears are supposed to sell. The bulls are buying at exactly where the bulls are going to buy. And if you're doing anything other than selling where bears sell or buy where bulls buy, you're not in a position. You know what I mean? Like you're bulls and bears could mess you up, right? You're in no man's land. And that's not a great place to vacation. Right? Terrible vacation. BYOB. Bring your own body bag. So anyways, that's that. Definitely top-ish. Great. We might have to wait till next month, which is literally next week, but is not tomorrow. I think I'm going to change this. Sick of looking at it. No, I'm going to change this again. Wow, look at this analysis. Beautiful. But did you know that when it snows, my eyes become lost? All right. Well, look at that. Oh, this is the, oh, I remember doing this now. You guys remember this? That was hot. So this is the prediction where we did this together, step by step by step. The prediction was what? I can't even read that anymore. What is that, 28? And I said it would go to 33 and a half. I'm sorry, it went to 35 and a half. Sorry. That was gorgeous. It's kind of art that pays, right? So anyways, let's go in here. Of course it's a good idea. John's like, good old man. Of course that was a good old man idea. All right. Sorry. It just made me think of Monty Python. You went to the Louvre? Going to the Louvre tomorrow, eh? All right. Staring at all the naked statues. Oh, look at her. I totally appreciate this art, this artist. All right. So what are we going to do with this? So I got dailies under weeklies under monthlies. Amazing, huh? So the predicted bottom for the day is also the predicted bottom for the month. And it's the predicted bottom for the week. Wait, that's an M4. Oh, that's the top. Hang on, I gotta zoom out. That's the, so we blew through the top and came back down. That's funny. That doesn't happen that often, right? But maybe in December. This is the predicted top of the month. And you're like, well, Wayne, we're already above that. Yeah, I know, it's very confusing. But this right here, you can see, is important for 2 or 3 different reasons. Okay. So I wonder if it's going to make it down there. Right now, we have, higher high, higher low, double top, big drop, consolidation, double top on a higher time frame, consolidation, triple top on a higher time frame, consolidation, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, roll reversal, lower low. So you'd think something like that would happen at this point. But that's where we are now. Where it was up, then it was sideways, then it was down. Yeah, Yellen starts speaking at 12:45, isn't it? Yeah. Cool. So the question is, when it gets down to that zone, is it back up or lower? Hmm. Well, it depends if you're trading dollar here or pound. So you should isolate both of them, right? And try to figure that out. How do you isolate them? Like this. Pound, as you can see, is looking weak against the dollar. Pound is looking weak versus the yen. Pound looks strong versus the Kiwi. Pound looks weak versus the Swissy. So all of these, right? This tells me the pound is weak and the Kiwi is weaker than the pound. Pound is weak, Kiwi is weaker. Let's check out the dollar. Dollar stronger than the euro. Yen stronger than the dollar. Dollars, well, I guess we should, that's a 1 minute, sorry. Let's put all of these on hours just to make sure. My eyes become large. The light that you shine can't be seen. All right. Okay. Dollar stronger than euro. Dollar stronger than yen. Dollar stronger than Aussie. Dollar stronger than Swissy. Dollar stronger than pound. Dollar stronger than CAD. Smells like a pound dollar short, Kiwi dollar short. Baby, kiss from a rose of blue. Now that your rose is in bloom. So this has a little bit, or maybe a lot, to do with the failed election in New Zealand. Hadir says, how do you save? You guys want, let's do that. All right. Check this out. Let's go back. Let's go back to that. Let's check this out. Miggity mic check. All right. Let's go this USD CAD. All right. Now that your rose is in bloom. Let's do this. That's CAD yen. Let's make that Aussie yen. That's CAD Swissy. Let's make this Aussie Swissy. That's Aussie CAD. We can leave that. And then USD CAD. So that's going to be Aussie USD. You know what? Let's do, instead of Aussie CAD, let's do Aussie Kiwi. And then that should be Aussie dollar, but that's going to be up here, Aussie dollar. Okay, so now I just created a scan of Aussies, but this profile is called Aussie CAD or Scan CAD. So now I have to go File, Profiles, Save As, and this pops up on a different screen, and you call it Scan Odd. And you go, okay. So there's Scan Pound. And now let's go to Scan Aussie down here, see? Hallelujah! So they're profiles. So if you watch other traders, maybe the world's changed, but I used to watch other traders, other professional traders, and they didn't even use their MT4 properly. Sometimes they just had like 1,000 charts spread out over one profile, or I don't know, they were doing really weird things. Click, 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 change a chart, click. And they didn't even understand that a profile is like a workspace and that you're supposed to rotate through workspaces. So it's just funny. Well, no, but they just didn't even know how to use the platform right. So you just like, they just did it the way that they always did it, which I found surprising. But it might come from the fact that maybe they're just self-taught too, or whatever. But I first started trading with the Dealbook 360. Well, actually Dealbook, and then Dealbook 2, and then Dealbook 360 or something. But anyways, it worked. It had workspaces, and so it made sense to me. And if you come from a different platform, maybe it doesn't make sense. But anyways, MT4 is fantastic for that. So that's why I have a workspace called News or whatever. See, the reason it's called News, just to give you a history of things, I used to have this on the 1-minute chart, and I would just scalp. This would be my scalping thing. When news would come out, I'd go boom, 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 boom. Okay. Okay, this is a buy zone if you want to buy gold. Anybody want to buy gold? Okay, you could play this as a double bottom, higher high, right? Higher low, off the roll reversal support cluster. Okay. You could do that. John says he's a bear. Well, this is where you should be cautious because it did double bottom at support. So remember, if you go back down to here, I think we did this on Monday. If this support level holds down in here, so let me move this, okay? You see this weekly pivot? If that holds, this is the target, M2 to M4. So it's just funny how it double bottomed at the weekly M2, made a higher high, and now is at the higher low. Fib cluster could very well be on its way to this M4 based on the bottom. But this bottom is at the exact spot, right? So again, a swing trader would say, what is that? 1,292 is where they would like to buy. And within pennies, that's the bottom. You're like, what an amazing coincidence. How funny. So that's the price a bullish swing trader would pray for. And they got it. So now you got the higher high. Now you do the 1, 2, 3, right? A light hits the moon on the There is so much you can tell you, so much you can tell. I I don't know the words to this song anymore, baby. Just in case you're sleeping at that. Too bad, yeah. Well, it'll be memorable, and that's the whole point. I did some reading about oil this morning, and they're like, oh yeah, Turkey's not going to allow Kurdistan to sell oil because of, but that's why oil prices are high. Nice. That's some pretty good reasoning right there. Scratch, 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 scratch. There isn't even a Kurdistan. But that's why. That's why oil prices are high. You're like, dude, we knew it was going up like 3 weeks ago. And we didn't know anything about a situation with Iraq and Iran and Syria and Turkey all being upset at the Kurds in northern Iraq over blah, 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 blah. Right? There's always a reason, I'm telling you. It's the Russians. It's the Russians. That's what it was. So let's talk about this. The predicted top for the month of September is 52.50. How many people have heard me say 52.50 at least 5 times? No, not yeah, but that's the range. But literally, how many times? Like, look, you can see it highlighted at the top. How many people have heard me say, well, for the predicted top, if you're a bull for oil, is going to be 52.50? Yeah, at least 5 times. At least, but probably closer to 10. But that's in the fuzzy logic of, well, we're in a 45-55 range, right? But the predicted top is 52.50. But I didn't say 52. I didn't say 53. I didn't say 52 and a quarter. I didn't say 52.75, right? Love remains. You're like, Wayne, it only went to 52.48. So I couldn't take profit. Yeah. But just like, it was the Kurds. I should have known. It's funny though, isn't it? Huh. Well, good. As long as it helps. But how many of these pivot targets have been accurate? Like, maybe it went above, but it didn't go much above, or if it hit and dropped. I hope that you see that they are reasonable places to take profit. Right? You know how some drop off the target, let's say resistance, and some don't? This is why I don't really recommend selling at these pivots. I recommend taking profit. So notice, like in my book, I didn't name them like the pivot trading zone, right? And you have to understand, writing the book was an interesting process for me because I had to define why or how I knew what I knew. It's kind of an interesting reasoning, isn't it? How do you know that you know? How do you know what you know? So, it was a very interesting challenge writing that book. So I had to think about it like, well, how do I use those pivots? What is it that I really do? And oh, what's in my history? So you go back in your journals and stuff, and you're like, well, I think I know what I know, but how do I know, or why do I know? And then how do you explain it to somebody that doesn't know? So it's a really interesting thing, right? Yeah, some Plato stuff, I guess. Not really, but I get it. Yeah. So I remember, and we just talked about this the other day, sitting in a Pete's Coffee near the Whole Earth store in San Mateo, California. I'm like, I will call it the pivot profit zone, the area between M4 and R2 in which I would consider taking profit. I didn't say anything about selling in the red zone. No, Kruger. Trying to think. I don't know the other guy, but Kruger. I think I read his crap. Kruger. Trying to think. What was he known for? I'll have to look that up. Confidence. Yeah. Well, the experience part. So I talk about it like your confidence should come from the experience, and that comes from you tracking your performance, not just your history, but like your statistics. And that's where your confidence should come from. You should be confident if you knew that when you traded a pattern like this, 72% of the time you make money. That's why you're confident. But anyways, so now that we're near the end of the month and we're near these monthly targets, I want you to take away from something. Don't worry about how much pips we've made this month or something. Worry about what your takeaway is. How do you feel about these pivots? Remember our conversation last week where I went ape crazy? Where decisions are made emotionally and then rationalized intellectually, right? So how do you feel about these pivots emotionally? And if they work for you, how does that feel? If you were punished for ignoring them, how does that make you feel? What are you going to take away emotionally from what you're observing in a great trading month? Right? And can you see the number of pips that are very possible, especially in these trading months that I prepared for you, or prepared you for? Can you see it? Right? So I got a couple emails recently by well-known professionals that were offering some sort of pay service, like a signal service. One of them said they were so accurate that they made over 600 pips in just the last 3 months. And another one I got yesterday, they're like, we're so good and so accurate, made over 1,200 pips in 2017. How does that sound now? Based on what I spent like all summer prepping you for, and like the pound yen went up 1,000 pips in 2 weeks. And some guy's bragging that he made 1,200 all a year. So like, well, if you want to make any significant money, you better have $100 million on those 1,000 pips. Right? Yeah, John's like, I made 150 yesterday. Yeah, but I'm setting you up for big trades, right? I'm teaching you how to do technical and fundamental analysis where you're like, bro, right? You're on TV and you make 200 pips a month? And people are paying you for this? Right? So it's like, wow. Now, if that was July, then that would be great. But, you know, I don't know. So I'm hoping that I'm trying to get like the fundamentals in your brain, the seasonality into your brain, having a bias, right? A bias that you know, like some of these trades, we set our bias even though the market didn't agree, right? There were great situations where we had a hypothesis that the market was going to turn. It maybe today, maybe tomorrow, maybe next week, maybe next month. But we were like, okay, now time to take your scalping hats off and put on the swing and start looking for market turns. How many people remember that? Like we literally, I even pretended to take my hat off and say, okay, new role now, new job, new purpose, new point of view, new, you know, new lens. The day before, I wasn't looking for a turn. Today, now we're looking for a turn, right? And the market did turn. And that is the challenge, isn't it? That's what amateurs, apparently a lot of professionals, miss when you make the turn. And maybe it's a strategy turn, I don't know what you want to call it. But you're prepared in advance, looking for evidence to support your hypotheses or deny your right? Or reject your hypotheses. And then we've hit all our aggressive targets. And now what do we do? What is the takeaway, right? So I think you should write yourself a note, a letter. Dear Wayne, dear beautiful, beautiful man, Wayne, you're so awesome. I love you so much. Hey, dude, you got to be kind to yourself when you write yourself notes. Some people are not. All right. And then the second thing, what did you take away? What did you learn? What is the new fact? Hopefully something, right? How did the month set up? How did it end? And remember, I told you in August to not even try to make money, that you will get paid in September and October and November. Let's do another round of hands. How many people remember that the whole point of working in August was to make money in September? I mean, this is key. This is like, without that mindset, it would not happen. Right? Yeah, this month had almost no retracements. But I said, when everyone else is crying about, you know, you can't make money in the summer, it's too quiet, it's too blah, 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 don't trade in the summer. What do? They come back in September and they feel really good that they made 300 pips because that it was so much better than August and July. So they're like, I need to send out an email to a list. Hey man, I made over 300 pips this month. Well, that seems really, really good if you didn't do anything in July and August. But if you had done your job, right, you were preparing for a massive wave of money pouring back into the market when people did return from holidays. So if you'd done your job, boom, you're like 300 pips. Okay. Has anyone made more than 500 pips this month? Sweet. That's good. Right on, Tristan. Cool. Well, namaste. Up over 300 just on the week? Yeah. Good. Yeah, well, that's just terrible trading, Tristan. That's just garbage. Yeah. Yeah. That's a maker right there. Yeah. It's like standing on the Titanic in your swim trunks. What are you doing? I've decided to jump overboard. I'm just waiting for the right iceberg. Like, aren't you the captain of the ship? Aren't you supposed to be steering away from the icebergs? Yeah, no. Yeah, no. No. Yeah, no. No. I'm just going to jump in. So. Well, John says the value of the pips may not be large. Yeah, and that's the thing. I don't even care about that. So if you could do this for 3 or 4 years, I know it sounds like a lot of time. It's not. 3, 4 years goes by like nothing. Okay? 1,000 days. Nothing. Right? Let's say you trade, I don't care the size of the account, but you just trade as you're supposed to for 3 or 4 years. You have a wonderful track record of success. It benchmarks to the beta. You make money when you're supposed to make money. You have quiet months when volatility is low. You just do your job. You just very, very steadily, with very low portfolio volatility, make money. Some months are okay. Some are great. But there's no surprises. You don't over leverage. You don't hold trades to try to have a high winning percentage. Like nobody cares about that, right? So on and so forth. You just do it. Then don't worry about it. You'll have so much money thrown at your feet that you won't know what to do with it. What you need is a track record of success. Then it's easy, right? You got it. It's the best resume in the world. Tucker's up 1,358. Cool. I think most of you guys will remember your first 1,000 pip month. And I think you'll remember your first 10,000 pip month. And you can make a lot more than that. It just depends how many trades you have open, and that depends a lot on the market. Okay, that depends a lot on the market. How many opportunities you get to buy and add to your positions and all kinds of different interesting things. But it's not necessarily you. So you can't get too bold on how good you are. The market is what dictates how much money you make, right? So, like last year, the market didn't take off until the election. So it was really a short trading year. The season was short. It's like you're a farmer. What's your job? Till the field, right? Plant some seeds. Put down some fertilizer. Put down some weed killer. But you're like, well, what do you do about the temperature? What do you do about the light? What do you do about the rain? Is it too much rain? Is it too dry? Is it, did it rain a lot in the spring or did it rain a lot in the summer? Or was it dry all spring, dry all summer, and then when you go out into the field to pick your horrible crops, then it rains. So you can't even get the crops out of the field. Like, there's just so much you can't control. But the farmer has the right tools and knows how to use them. You plow a field, you till it, you create the nice little rows, you put all the seeds, cover it all up, add all the good stuff. In some years, it'll rain when it's supposed to rain, it'll be dry when it's supposed to be dry, all this kind of stuff, and your yields will be high. Yield per acre will be high. Do you know in the last 50 years in the United States, yield on wheat has gone from 7 bushels per acre, I guess it was per acre, to 42. John says most of from the USD ZARs. Yeah, be careful on the pip countage. Like, if you make 1,000 pips on the Mexican peso, then yay, great, you made 1,000 pips, but they're worth a tenth of a penny. So you got to be careful. 1,000 pips on USD peso versus Euro USD are two different things, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Robert says struggle transitioning last week and a half from bull to bear and all that kind of stuff. Isn't that why we use those monthly pivots? So think about it. How many times did we get into those pivot profit zones? And we hit that a week ago, right? Don't you guys remember? It was like the 15th, the 16th. It was like in the middle of the month. And I said, you could just take profit and become a docent and volunteer your time at a museum. We did say it at least twice. So we don't know at that time whether it's going to continue going up or coming back down. We never know. But I said if it was April or March or February, right? Or even October, we would take profit. Does anyone remember that conversation? I said, now it might go farther this month, but if it was any other month, we would take profit. Faux show. So this is why I'm saying go back, look at that, and decide, what did you learn? What do you take away? The talk about thousands of pips, who cares? What did you learn? What did you take away? What are you going to do next time, and 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 next time, next time? The next time. Next time, next time, next time. Well, yeah. So Robert says it gets stubborn on your sense. This is why I use technical analysis. See, a technician without the fundamentals doesn't have the full picture. But someone that is all fundamental and has no technical doesn't have the full picture. What does technical analysis tell you? When to get in, when to get out. It doesn't necessarily tell you up or down. Okay? And then don't confuse news with fundamentals. Because you'll do stuff now like, oh, I saw on CNBC or CNN or Bloomberg, oh, something about Kurdistan and oil, and there's going to be an oil shortage, and you start buying at $52.50 because you saw it on television. And you're like, that is fundamental analysis. No, it's not, bro. Because we talked about this 3 weeks ago before you even heard of Kurdistan, because there is no Kurdistan. Michael, okay, fundamental analysis of economic data, not news. You don't get your fundamentals on television. Okay? So I don't watch TV. And you guys know on the PC behind me, right? When I'm trading and I got news up, I don't even have volume. I don't have sound. I don't give a two hoots about what they're saying because I already have my opinion. I already did the work. I don't care what their opinion is. I just care about, I don't know. I'm lonely. That's all it is. I'm just lonely. So I like to have human faces around me. But I don't care what they say, right? Yeah. So anyways, yeah, news is not fundamental analysis. So boom, my bias put us long, or put me long. The technicals told me what price, and the news magically made the market move exactly where we wanted it to. Okay. So here's the predicted bottom. I thought it'd go to 45. It only went to 46. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Stop. Doesn't that just blow your mind? This is where you have a fit. This is where you say, what the hell have I been doing this whole time? This looks so easy. Why did I F this up? And look at the target. Look, it's already highlighted. We did this weeks ago. Double bottom, higher high. Roll reversal, higher high. Roll reversal, higher high. Roll reversal, higher high. Right? Maybe you come back down here, roll reversal. What I mean by roll reversal is this used to be resistance, now it's support. This used to be resistance, now it's support. This used to be resistance, now it's support. This used to be resistance, maybe it'll be support. Link. Doesn't this just blow you away how relatively easy that is? That you should have the capability of being a professional energy trader, trading billions and billions of dollars, because that's all you need to do, right? You know what I mean? Like, if you didn't do this on this, this is oil, right? But let's say you're doing something else. Like, if you're not doing that, then why don't you just absolutely freak out, spaz out on yourself, like, that's it, right? You need to change, big time, pow, right? And be able to capture that. You're like, I can do that. I can do that. I've seen them do it 10,000 times. I'm going to do it. I'm going to change my evil ways, right? Like, oh my God, he predicted the double bottom. Then we talked about the high. I even drew this for you guys, right? And then it did, and then it came back down to a roll reversal. Then it went back up, and then it came back down to a roll reversal. And then you're like, oh my God. So it went from 46, right? So this trade right here is worth over $5,000 if you just made the one trade. At least 5,000 bucks. But you could have added, like, this one could be 5,000, this one could be 4,000, this one could be 3,000, right? It could be 12,000. And you made 3 trades for the entire month of September, and you made $12,000. You're like, yeah, well, that's all you can do, one contract. It's oil. It's not a currency pair. Okay? So there should be, like, because that's just straight up price action. The fundamentals are the ones that turn the market. Then you got the technical, but then the rest is price action, right? Oh, you can put in point ones? Oh, okay. Interesting. I don't think I've ever tried that. So my bad. If you trade 100, oh, well, I'm not saying to trade 100% accurate, but what I'm saying is you need to believe that this can be done, that it's not practice, it's not fun, it's not, I mean, that it's there. You see this happening. And if you can see it, you need to do it. And it's whatever is stopping you from doing it, but you're like, damn, that's like straight up hardcore basic price action set up on a fundamental change in direction. Like, you should say, I absolutely can do that. Then the next question is, then why didn't you? You're like, maybe you don't trade oil. Great. But there must be other examples. Now, this is a commodity, and it's topping out at monthly R2, like most of what we looked at. So how are you going to treat monthly pivots now? Once again, you need to make an emotional commitment to this. This is where I would literally print this stuff out and put it all over my walls. The wall of fame, if you will, not the wall of shame. And look at it and say, I love monthlies. You should go around telling people. You should tell people monthly pivot points and explain it to them. Just random people. Right? And just commit. Absolutely commit. Absolutely 100% totally emotionally commit. How many people signed up for the swing trading course in the last, I guess it was a week or so? How many people? Wasn't very many, but okay. Robert Brady, okay, good. Okay, Anthony, great. Where's the selling zone for bears? Okay, between those pivots, and where's the target? R1 is the wrong answer, by the way, Craig. Right here. Okay, nice, right? If you're a bull, what's your conservative target? Did you know that this is the monthly M4? And that's why the market dropped? It's either that or the Russians. That price at 116.15, it was actually 116.16. 116.16 was the price the market participants were supposed to exit. And they did. What did you learn? By the way, weekly swingers, they bought this, and because the CPP was their entry, their target was R2. It was an aggressive entry, required an aggressive target. Once again, textbook. Luftli tuliumum. Just pointing that out, just saying. Baby. Let's try another one. So, because I know you guys don't trade Euro Swissy, so let's do this one. Hey, M3 targeting the red zone. Oh, so this trade worked perfectly. This trade worked perfectly. Then the counter trend worked perfectly. Yeah, but this one over here didn't work. All right, so my bad. Just saying. Now that your rose is in bloom. Okay, let's try this. Sell zone, target. Okay, check this out. It opened above the sell zone, which is bullish, but you got to use moving averages. And on this time frame, you don't have them. It's probably a 4-hour entry, which is scary. Okay, but at some point, like this is very viable here. And again, this is the target, so a little trickier. Check this out. Look at the buy zone. Look at the target. Don't you jump back on me! I mean, just lovely. So what was that? Kiwi Swissy. But did you know that when it's okay? What is this? Aussie Swissy. I know this is your favorite currency pair in the whole world, right? Look at this. Buy zone, target. Buy zone, target. This is real dead weak, right? Not a lot happened here on any of the Kiwi pairs. Okay. This is the sell zone. This is the target. Now that your roses in bloom. Pissy. Pissy is a great currency pair. I got to reload this. There's just too many with the fib and stuff. Yeah. Let's reload. Template. Clusters. There's so much to give it all you go. All right, check this out. Oh, this is pretty close to an M2. The week before we did hit M2, except it wasn't M2 yet. Okay, great. Anyways, if M2 is your bottom, let's just call this a bottom. It's pretty close. What's your target? Right here. And so let's just say, you say to yourself, silently, screaming in your head, somewhere around this R2, you could look for a reversal pattern to confirm that the trade is done, right? Couldn't you say that to yourself? And a potential reversal pattern could be something like double top, lower low, lower high, lower low type stuff. Right? You could, and like I said earlier in the day, or earlier in this webinar, you don't have to do it, but you can, but you don't have to. It's, you know, it's, so in the swing trading course, there are 2 counter trend trades, and this is the type of, this is one of the counter trend trades. Okay, and it's really more tied to weeklies than monthlies, but I don't know. But you could say, well, you predict that this might be resistance, so that you could look for a double top lower low and sell the lower high, right? I mean, you could, right? I mean, it's free country, sort of. What are the settings? So we use dailies, weeklies, and monthlies, Eric. Eric, you might want to do like the swing trading course. But I think everyone should start with the basic training course. I mean, just make sure you have everything set up. But what time is it? Oh, I've already gone late. So we'll have to do Euro Yen tomorrow, if that's okay, Mikey. So thank you very much, guys, for being clients of TradersWay. We care for you. We want you to succeed. I hope you know and believe that. I'll be here tomorrow. I hope to see you. Once again, you know, I woke up cranky, and you've made my day a better day. And I thank you for your positive energy. I appreciate the loyalty and respect that you show me every day. Hope to see your trade plan on Forex.Today. So see you tomorrow, huh? Namaste.